Okay, so we're continuing with chapter 22 of Nectar of Devotion, further qualities of Lord Krishna. And so we'll continue the discussion. Yeah, any questions or comments from last week?
Excuse me, we are at the number 56.
Number 56, is it? Okay, let me just check. Okay, she's nodding, so it must be 56.
I think 55.
Okay,
55.
let me just check.
Same page, Prabhuji, 55.
Okay, all right.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, let's see. Now the question is, did we finish 54? Did we finish?
Prabhuji, so far that I remember, we have read till known as Shyama Sundar. Wahan tak I don't recall, reading that paragraph fully.
Yeah, so let me just check where is that?
Prabhuji, remember this paragraph where it says, even the impersonalist will become attracted to the personal form of Krishna known as
Yes.
Shyam Sundar.
Yes. Okay, known as Shyam Sundar. Yes, I believe you're right. I believe you're right. So that's what I thought. We hadn't finished it.
So last two paragraphs.
Well,
Yes,
it
Mataji, we
is
haven't
confirmed
read
by
it.
the statement of Brahma Samhita. You see that? Everybody see that?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Who would like to read it?
I can read it, Prabhuji.
Please go ahead.
It is confirmed by the statement of Brahma Samhita that the Brahman effulgence is the bodily ray of Krishna. The Brahman effulgence is simply an exhibition of the energy of Krishna. Krishna is the source of Brahman effulgence, as he himself confirms in Bhagavad Gita. From this, we can conclude that the impersonal feature of the absolute truth is not the ultimate end. Krishna is the ultimate end of the absolute truth. The member of the Vaishnava school therefore never try to merge into the Brahman effulgence in their pursuit of spiritual perfection. They accept Krishna as the ultimate goal of self-realization. Therefore, Krishna is called Param Brahman, the Supreme Brahman, or Parameshwar, the Supreme Controller. Sri Yamunacharya has prayed as follows. My dear Lord, I know that the gigantic universe and the gigantic space and time within the universe are covered by the 10 layers of the material elements, each layer 10 times larger than the previous one. The three material modes of nature, the Garbho Dakshaya Vishnu, the Shiro Dakshaya Vishnu, and the Mahavishnu are beyond them. The spiritual sky and its spiritual planet known as Vaikuntha. And the Brahman effulgence in that spiritual sky, all of these taken together are nothing but the small exhibition of your potency. Hare Krishna.
Hari Bol. This is so powerful. Okay, so let's go to the top here. Top meaning where we started. I lost it again. It is confirmed, yes. Yes. So saying is confirmed by the statement of Brahma Samhita that the Brahman effulgence, the bodily ray of Krishna. Who knows what verse is it referring to? Anybody knows? I can give you a hint. It's number 40.
What's that? What's the question?
The question is, which verse in Brahma Samhita says that the Brahman effulgence is the bodily ray of Krishna? Yasya prabha prabhavato jagadand andakoti kotishu ashesh vasudha vibhuti bhinnam tad brahm nishkalam anantam ashesh bhutam govindam adi purusham bhajam. So this number 40 is basically saying that it is his rays in which the billions and billions of universes are floating or residing. And there's all sorts of variety. in these universes, and it is his bodily rays where all these infinite number of living entities are also floating. That Govindam I offer my respectful obeisances. So the point being that the bodily rays of Krishna form what's known as Brahman effulgence. And he says the same thing in Bhagavad Gita also. Actually, if you look at chapter 7, text 8, it says, Raso Konteya Prabhaso Shashishuryo. He says, I'm the taste in water, but I'm also the light or the effulgence of the moon and the sun. So same thing. The sun is getting its effulgence from the Brahman effulgence. The moon is getting its effulgence from the sun's effulgence. And the Brahman effulgence is effulgent because it's the bodily rays of Krishna. Then very quickly, there's another point being made. It says, from this, we can conclude that the impersonal feature of the absolute truth is not the ultimate end. Krishna is the ultimate end of the absolute truth. So there's another verse that's from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 2, Text 11, which says, Vadanti tat tattva vidas tattvam yad jnanam ahitkam. Sorry, advayam. Brahmeti paramatma eti bhagwan eti shabdete. So he says that those who know, they tell us that there are three features of the absolute truth. What are they? Anybody?
Paramatma, Bhagwan, and
Brahmete.
Brahm.
Brahman effulgence. So in the order, it is Brahman effulgence,
Paramatma.
it is Paramatma,
Then
and
Bhagwan.
Bhagavan. Succeedingly higher realization. So Brahman effulgence, those who think Brahman effulgence is it, are not wrong, but their understanding is incomplete. Higher than those are the yogis who understand that no, Brahman effulgence is not where it ends. Actually, this is from Paramatma feature, the all-pervading Paramatma feature. But even there it doesn't end. Their understanding is also incomplete. The devotees who think there's a personal feature of the Lord. The personal feature of the Lord contains both the Paramatma feature and the Brahman effulgence. And that is the complete understanding. So the point being made is that Krishna is the ultimate end of the absolute truth. That's where that's the limit of the absolute truth. And then it goes on to say something very interesting. It says the members of the Vaishnava schools therefore never try to merge into the Brahman effulgence in their pursuit of spiritual perfection. As a matter of fact, what is the name of the mukti where you merge in the Brahman effulgence? Anybody knows? Sorry?
Shasti Prabhu. Mukti Prabhu.
Sayuj Mukti, yes, correct. Sayuj Mukti. So Sayuj Mukti is the one where you merge in the Brahman effulgence, and the devotees never want it. Actually, they consider Sayuj Mukti as worse than being in hell. So can you comment on why would hell be better than getting Sayuj Mukti?
Because in Sahaja Mukti you don't do anything. It's just a bright light there and you're sitting there doing nothing.
Right.
No service.
No service. No service, no shelter of the Lord's lotus feet, nothing. It is hell in the chant. You can chant. So hell is considered even better by the devotees than merging in the Brahman effulgence, because that says you basically lose your identification, which you don't, but they feel that and therefore not accept it. So devotees accept Krishna as the ultimate goal of self-realization. Therefore, Krishna is called the Param Brahman or Supreme Brahman or Parameshwar. So anybody remembers where Super Brahman or Param Brahman is mentioned in Bhagavad Gita? Hint, Arjun is saying that.
Param Brahma Param Dhamma
Correct.
Paramam Bhavana Purusham
Correct.
Shashvatam Devam Adi Devam Ajam Devam.
Wonderful. Yes. Chapter 10, text 12. So Krishna,
Yes.
Arjuna is saying that you are Param Brahma. You're Supreme Personality. You're Supreme Brahman. You're the Supreme Controller. Okay. And then it goes on to say, Shri Yamuna Acharya has prayed as follows. My dear Lord, I know that the gigantic universe and gigantic space and time within the universe are covered by the 10 layers of the material elements. Each layer 10 times larger than the previous one. So, we talk about the false ego, intelligence, mind, and we talk about the gross material elements. So it's referring to those layers. And each layer is 10 times larger or longer, if you want to say it, than the previous one. And then it says something very wonderful. This is the 3 modes of material nature. Garbhodakshai Vishnu, Kshirodakshai Vishnu, Mahavishnu, and beyond them the spiritual sky and spiritual planets known as Vakunthas, and the Brahman effulgence in that spiritual sky. All those taken together are nothing but small exhibition of your potency. So once again, if you go back to chapter 10, Krishna tells Arjuna, Yajjad vibhuti matsattvam, Shimat ijitam eva, tatat eva apkachitam, mam tejo ansambhava. Like whatever you're seeing in the material world, whatever you're seeing is but a tiny spark of my effulgence. Then the next verse he says that, let me see how it goes. Krishna. I can't remember the first verse, but basically it says that everything, I have pervaded everything by my effulgence, and the whole material world is lying but on a spark of my effulgence. So basically what that means is we should understand the importance of the Brahman effulgence. So as we were saying, Brahman effulgence, the bodily rays of Krishna, and everything resides on or situated in the Brahman effulgence, those rays, the material world and the spiritual world. So what is the structure? So not in this class, but in a different class on Wednesdays, we discussed the Mahat Tattva, which is like a cloud and the origin of the material world. It covers 1/4 of Brahman effulgence. So it's basically dark under it, and that's known as material world. The other 3/4 is not covered, and it's called spiritual world. So once you get to the boundary of the material world, just above that, who can tell me what is just above the material world? Just above.
Is the Viraja River?
Correct. Viraja River or causal ocean. What's above that? Okay, first of all, you can see the Brahman effulgence, but what's above that? It's called
Vaikuntha Lokas, Prabhu.
Svarglok.
No. Swargalok is all material world. We are above it.
Vaikuntha Lokas, Prabhu.
No, that's too high.
Brahmalok.
No, that's too low. So material world below that, that's all Brahmalok, Taplok, Janlok, Mahalok, etc., etc. Just went above it, and the first thing, as Mr. Krishna Prabhu said, is Virja River or causal ocean. Above that is you see the Brahman effulgence. What's the first set of planets above that? It's called Siddhaloka. Siddhaloka is where the Sahaja Mukti happens, the Gyanis, the Mayavadis, they all get there. Just above that is what's known as Shivaloka or Sadashivaloka. That's where Lord Shiva is. And then above that are billions and trillions of Vaikuntha Lokas. And then above that is come on, people.
Golok.
Venkut Goloka.
Goloka, that's right.
Goloka.
Goloka, Krishna Loka, Goloka, whatever you want to call it. So that's the structure. So it's saying, the Yamuna Acharya is saying that all that combined, It's but a small exhibition of Krishna's potency. That gives an idea of Krishna's potency, like why we cannot understand. We can't even imagine. It's totally inconceivable. I will talk about that later on in this chapter. One of the qualities of Krishna is inconceivable potency. You can imagine. Like he's creating these billions of universes in his sleep. In his sleep. So you can imagine. And he's an expansion of Krishna. Like this is no limit. There's no limit. We cannot. Krishna says, even I cannot get to the limit of the qualities I have. We're just discussing the 64 primary ones. There's amazing, unbelievable number of qualities. Okay. Any questions?
Prabhuji, you said millions of Vaikuntha. There are more
Billions.
than one.
I said billions. Vaikuntha
Oh.
planets.
I thought there was only one of that. Okay.
No. So
Something wrong
if
then.
you remember, every supreme personality of Godhead has its own planet. It's called Vaikuntha. So Lord Nrsimhadev, Lord Matsyadev, Lord Kurmadev, Lord Varadev, Lord Narayan, Lord Vishnu, all three Vishnus, Lord Ram, other incarnations like Ajit, Hansa, they all have their own planets. Not only that, how many names of Krishna can you think of? Just wild guess.
Infinite.
Infinite, yeah, billions of, and each one of them have their own Vaikuntha. So Govind has a Vaikuntha. Vikrama has a Vaikuntha. Urukrama has Vaikuntha. Murlidhar has a Vaikuntha. This is on top of Golok. Not on top of, but in addition to Golok, that Krishna is there. So ete chans kalapunsam Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. As Gita Srimad Bhagavatam says, all these expansions are just expansions of Krishna. The original Supreme Personality of Godhead is Krishna. Sorry?
Bhagavad Gita shlok you were referring to, it is 10.8.
No. I was referring to 10.42 or something like that. The last verse of 10th chapter.
Maybe.
Anyway, so is that clear? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay, all right. Any questions before we move to the next point? All right, then who would like to read the next 55?
I can read, Prabhu.
Please go ahead.
55. Possessing all majestic perfections. There are many standards of perfection. The highest material perfections obtained by perfect yogis are listed as 8: to become the smallest of the small, to become the greatest of the great, etc. All of these material perfections, as well as all spiritual perfections, can be found fully in Krishna's personality. Would you like me to read 50, 60?
Not yet. We have discussed 55 first.
Okay.
So I don't know how much detail you all want to get into. But the 8, actually, there's a very wonderful discussion in the 11th canto between Lord Krishna and Uddhava. And Uddhava asked Lord Krishna to describe mystic perfections. And Krishna said, actually, there are 18 mystic perfections. 8 are primary and 10 are secondary. So here, there is listing as 8, which are the primary mystic perfections. So you have, by the way, most of these involved bodily transformation. So for example, anima means the body becomes smaller than the smallest. Mahima means becomes greater than the greatest. Laghima means lighter than the lightest. Then there's Prakamya Siddhi, which means acquire anything you desire. Then the Ishta Siddhi, which is manipulate Maya actually. and get whatever you want. Then there's Vashita Siddhi, by which you can control even the modes of material nature. And you have Kama Vashita, which means, excuse me, obtain anything from anywhere to the highest possible limit. So those are the 8 that Krishna describes in great detail. Then describes other 10 in detail also. Those of you who are interested in knowing the details, you can read Canto 11. I think it's chapter 15 or 13, something like that. And very wonderful discussion. A lot of details by Lord Krishna given in that. So if there are any questions of further curiosity, I'd be happy to answer. Otherwise, we can move on. Okay, silence means move on.
I have a question, Prabhuji.
Go ahead.
Prabhuji, is it something different than, हम ऐसे बोलते हैं भगवान जी के पास 64 कलाएं हैं? Is it
No.
something other than that?
Totally different. Totally different. And 64 kala, we're talking about 64 gun. That's different.
Like what we're discussing right now.
Right now. Then 64 kala, that basically literally talks about knitting, weaving basket, those kind of things. Actually, that's also described in Brahma Samhita. If you look at Brahma Samhita, the 64 kala is described in that. So that's again totally different. Then these are mystic perfections, 8 plus 10. Totally different.
So what Krishna learned with Sandipani Muni is like,
Kalai.
what was he learning there?
So he learned Chaushat Kalai as well as the Vedas and the scriptures. Because remember, guna you cannot learn. Guna you have or don't have. Okay. Anybody else?
So, Prabhu, these mystic perfections only Krishna can have.
No. Okay, I was coming to that. So we just finished number 55, right? We just finished.
Yes.
Okay, so 51 through 55. Let's just go back. 51 was, I think, ever fresh. Let me just go back. No. 51 was changeless. So changeless, then ever all cognizant, ever fresh, Sachidanand Vigraha, and what we just talked today, possessing all mystic perfections. So 1 through 50, all living entities have, but in very, very minute amount. Lord Shiva has them all fully. Plus these 5. So he has 55 out of 64. Now we're going to start talking about the qualities that Lord Narayan has. Of course, Krishna has all of them. But now we're talking about Lord Narayan has, but even Lord Shiva doesn't have these. The next 5 that we're going to talk about, Lord Narayan has, but even Lord Shiva doesn't have it. 5 we just finished talking about, Lord Shiva has, but even Lord Brahma doesn't have that. No living entities have fully. Sorry, at all. And the first 50 are there in Brahma, almost full, but other living entities, very small amounts. So is that confusing or is that clear?
No, that's clear, bro.
Okay. Anybody else? Okay, then let's move on. 56.
Can I read, bro?
Please go ahead, yeah.
Krishna's inconceivable potencies. Krishna is present everywhere, not only within the universe, not only within the hearts of all living entities, but also within every atom. In the prayers of Queen Kunti, we find mention of this inconceivable potency of Krishna. While Krishna was talking with Kunti, he simultaneously entered the womb of Uttara, who was in danger due to the atomic weapon of Ashwatthama. Krishna can illusion even Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva, and he can protect all surrendered devotees from the reactions of sinful activities. These are some of the examples of his inconceivable potencies.
Okay, Prabhu, so let's discuss this paragraph first, then we go to the next paragraph. Okay, you can continue after we discuss this first paragraph.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so now this is saying Krishna is present everywhere. Which devotee gave the proof of that Krishna is present everywhere?
Kunti
Lord
Maharaj.
Maharaj.
Prahlad Maharaj.
Prahlad Maharaj, yes. He could see Lord Nrsimhadev there. And the scriptures say Lord Nrsimhadev did not travel from some place, from Vaikuntha to there. He was there. And in that pillar, Prahlad Maharaj could see. One of the names of Lord Krishna is Vasudev. Of course, Vasudev means son of Vasudev, but there's another meaning of that. And that other meaning is all-pervading. There's a verse in Brahma Samhita, and I don't know if I can remember it fully, but it says, Eko api raso rachayitum jagdand kotim yat shakti asti jagdanjaya adanta anantarastha paramanuchaya antarastam govindam adi purusham tam ham bhajami. It says Krishna is pervading each and every atom of everything. So this is like literally inconceivable potency that somebody can do that. I just lost my train of thought. In 9.4, Bhagavad Gita chapter 9, text 4, he says, Maya tata midam sarvam, jagat avyakt murtina, mat sthani sarvbhutani, na chaham teshu avasthita. So he's saying that I have pervaded by my potency, my impersonal feature, everything that exists in the material world, or in the spiritual world for that matter. So point being made is that he has this all-pervading feature known as Paramatma. The Paramatma is in every atom, even the non-living entities. So a stone has Paramatma there. A piece of wood that's not part of the tree has Paramatma there. Every cell has Paramatma there.
Anywhere and everywhere.
Anywhere and everywhere. But there's a difference. There's a localized version of Paramatma and there's all-pervading Paramatma. Who can tell me what the difference is?
One have a soul, the other one don't have a soul.
I beg your pardon? Paramatma has a soul? Paramatma is super soul.
As Paramatma, he is whereas the soul, that's all pervading. But I don't know how to clarify that, Prabhuji.
Prabhuji,
Okay, कोई बात नहीं, हाँ.
localized means Krishna is present in everyone's heart as a Paramatma.
Correct.
Yes.
That's a localized version. What is the difference with the localized version of Paramatma and Paramatma? We've been discussing all-pervading features in every atom.
One can be personalized, other one can be impersonal.
Okay, I accept that. I need a little more though. Okay, so the local Paramatma has the form of Lord Narayan, 400 form. It's almost 8 inches long. So now get this. What's the dimension of a soul?
1/10,000 part of the tip of the hair.
Right. And in that soul, in the heart of that soul, Paramatma, which is 8 inches long, resides. Do you figure that out? Inconceivable. But are you with me? Whether you can conceive it or not, that's different. But are you with me?
Yes,
Just say it again, Prabhuji.
To Prabhuji, but how is that?
अरे शॉक लगा दिया मैंने आज शॉक लगा दिया सबको. So the soul, the size, huh?
Just question. It's not within that our soul, right? It is the side of that Paramatma reside side, not within the soul.
No,
Is
it's
that correct?
no. Paramatma is in the soul, the heart of the soul.
We just have to believe, right, Prabhu?
Paramatma
Just
is
Like
believe and
everything else.
trust.
Like
Faith.
everything else. Like everything else.
Paramatma is Paramatma.
Yes.
Okay, so again, I lost my train of thought. So we're talking about Paramatma, which is localized feature, has the form of Lord Narayan, 400 form, is almost 18. Srila Prabhupada says, if you extend your hand like this from the end of your little finger to the end of your thumb, that's the distance, that's the size of Paramatma. Almost 8 inches, maybe depending upon the size of fingers might be different, but it's just
You're
that
right,
possible
Prabhu.
size.
It's almost 8 inches.
Okay,
Okay,
good.
Prabhu, can I say one thing? The 8 inches and how it can get into 1/10,000th part of the tip of the hair is because Paramatma doesn't have no bones. Nothing. He can get anywhere.
Well, not only that, see, our problem is we're so conditioned to think in the material sense, we think dimensions in a physical sense. But these are all transcendental. The soul is transcendental. Paramatma is transcendental. So those kind of logic never apply. It's like, for example, when Lord Krishna was here on this planet, in Vrindavan, like his father Nanda Maharaj had 900,000 cows. Mother Radharani's father had 1100,000 cows, 1.1 million. Everybody else had thousands of cows. Plus, the 3 billion gopis that showed up for Ras dance. So imagine their parents, their siblings. They all lived in a small place called Vrindavan. How is it possible? Right? Because it's not physical. Right? The other day we were reading in Dwarka. Just Krishna's relatives, immediate relatives, like children, wives, children, grandchildren, and children's wives, and then grandchildren's wives. That added up to few million people, just one family. And there were billions of other people living there in a place called Dwarka, which is so small. How is that possible? Because transcendental. And transcendental lands are like lotus flower. They expand and they contract. And this is why Krishna would play with the demons whenever they came to attack him. He'll expand the land. So they'll be running like anything. They're coming and coming and coming. They never reach Krishna. After hours, they're already tired, then they reach Krishna. But on the other hand, when Radharani wants to meet Krishna, Krishna wants to meet Radharani, it shrinks. So what today looks like 5 mile, 10 mile, is like 2 minutes you're there. That's the transcendental nature of the land. Okay?
Good, Prabhu. Good explanation. Very nice.
Thank you. So are we clear?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay. All right. Great. So Krishna is present everywhere, not only within this universe, but not only within the hearts, but also within every atom. In the prayers of Queen Kunti, we find mention of this inconceivable potency of Krishna. So there he is. Just imagine the scene. Imagine the scene from Srimad Bhagavatam. Krishna is ready to leave for Dwarka. He's leaving Hastinapur after a long time. The battle is over, almost over. He said, okay, I've done my job. I got to go back to my wives. They're waiting for me. Mother Kunti is standing there on the floor, on the ground, offering her prayers. So they're talking. Suddenly, Uttara. Who's Uttara? Sorry?
Abhimanyu's wife.
Okay. Abhimanyu's wife. Yes. She comes running. She's, Krishna, Krishna, save me. Krishna, Krishna, Mahabaho. She chants. And Krishna says, what happened? She says, I can see this Brahmastra coming my way. It's aimed at my stomach. She says, oh, no worries. And he enters her womb. Brahmastra already come and literally charred the baby. He revives the baby. What was the birth name of that baby? Birth name of that baby.
Birth name.
Parikshit.
No,
Parikshit.
that's not birth name.
Oh, wait, Vishnuratan.
Yeah, very good. But
Yes, yes, yes.
Vishnu. And then why was he called Parikshit, by the way?
Because
Later?
he witnessed God inside.
Yeah,
No.
he was
no,
looking
that's-
for God.
He
Yeah,
was waiting.
he was-
No, Pari means to examine. Ikshit means with his eyes. So he was seeing Krishna with his eyes going around him in circles.
he was looking for Krishna in everybody's face. Is this Krishna? Is this the person I saw in my womb? In the
Oh,
womb? So examining every face he saw to see if that's Krishna. So he's constantly looking for Krishna, the one who saved him in the womb of his mother. Hence the name Parikshit. Okay, anyway, so that was, we digressed. But the point is that Krishna entered the womb, saved him, came back out, but he was still talking to Kunti. She was in multiple places at the same time. That's again inconceivable potency. Okay, let's keep on going. Krishna can illusion even Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva. Well, we both know the story. So, Brahma Vimohan Leela is that. When was Lord Shiva illusioned?
Mohini avatar.
Correct, correct. So, Mohini Murti avatar, Mohini avatar, Lord Shiva was illusioned. And then he says, and he can protect all surrendered devotees from the reactions of sinful activities. So, where in Gita does he say that? Where does he confirm this point? He can protect all surrendered devotees from the reactions of sinful activities. Come on, people.
Sarva dharman parityajya.
Yes, yes, yes. Yes. Aham tvam sarva papebhyo. Right? So he's saying, I will protect you. So he says these are some of the examples of conceivable potencies. Any questions before we move to the next paragraph? Okay, Brother Krishna Prabhu, go ahead.
Srila Rupa Goswami therefore offers his obeisances unto Krishna by saying, Krishna, who is present as a human being, has as his mere shadow the whole material nature. He has expanded himself into so many calves, and cowherd boys, and he has again manifested himself in all of them as the four-ended Narayan. He has taught millions of Brahmas self-realization, and thus he is worshipable not only by the heads of all universes, but by everyone else also. Therefore, let me always accept him as the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
So who's the head of the universe?
Brahma.
Yeah, exactly. So, and which Leela is being mentioned here? Rupa Goswami. Brahma Vimohan Leela, yeah, correct. So we all know how Krishna expanded himself into cows and the boys. And when Brahma came to see, he saw all Narayan Murtis. And that was again, one of the reasons for that was Lord Krishna wanted to show Lord Brahma that in each Vaikuntha Lok, there's only one Narayan or one Narayan form. But look at Vrindavan, there's millions of Narayan forms. Therefore, Vrindavan is so much superior even to Vaikuntha Lokas. One reason. Okay? And therefore, let me always accept him as the Supreme Personality of God. So, there's a verse in Chaitanya Charitamrita. It says, Ahakala Ishwar Krishna Ar Sabhabhratya. It says, only Krishna is the master, everybody else is a servant. But that everybody else includes all the Supreme Personalities of Godhead. Did you know that? All the Lord Ram, Lord Nrsimhadev, all included, Lord Balaram down. Everybody has servitor mode to Krishna. Krishna is the only master. Okay? Any questions or doubts about that?
How lucky we can be to have Krishna, our master.
Haribol! Yes, mother. How lucky are we? How lucky are we? Absolutely right. Okay, Prabhu, go ahead, next paragraph. But Krishna, did you want to read it or somebody else?
Sorry, Prabhu. When
Jago, Jeev Jago.
Nityananda bole.
When Indra was defeated by Krishna in the matter of taking the Parijata plant from heaven, Narada met Indra and criticized him. O Indra, great king of heaven, Krishna has already defeated Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva. So what can be said of an insignificant demigod like you? Narad Muni, of course, was criticizing Indra jokingly, and Indra enjoyed it. In Narada's statement, it is confirmed that Krishna was able to illusion even Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva as well as Indra. So there is no question of Krishna's power to do the same to lesser living entities.
Right. The bottom line, the last line is the most important one here in this paragraph. There's no question of Krishna's power to do the same thing, which means to put all the living entities in illusion. So therefore, there's no way we can win against Krishna. We can't even win against Krishna's external potency, Maya. You depend upon him, right? So Krishna is the only one. Well, Krishna and the other supreme personalities of Godhead are the only ones who are above the illusion. Anybody who's in the material world, including Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva, can be put in illusion. A very special illusion, but can be. But we are nothing. We are always in illusion. As a matter of fact, that's one of the 4 defects of all human beings. You're always in illusion. Okay? Any questions or comments on that? All right, let's move on.
A description of Krishna's power is minimizing the sufferings of sinful reactions is given in the Brahma Samhita as follows. Beginning from the great king of heaven down to the end, everyone is undergoing the reactions of past deeds. But a devotee of Krishna is relieved from such reactions by the grace of Krishna. This was clearly proved when Krishna went to the place of Yamraj, the Lord of Death, to reclaim the dead son of his teacher. Krishna's teacher had requested Krishna to bring back his dead son, and to do so, Krishna went to the place of Yamraja to claim that soul, who had been brought there by Yamraja and was being kept under his control. Krishna immediately ordered Yamraja, be benefited by my order and return that soul unto me. The purport of this incident is that even a person who is under the regulative principles of the laws of nature and who is therefore punishable by Yamraj under these laws can be granted complete immunity by the grace of Krishna.
Yeah. So, sorry? Go ahead, Prabhu. You were saying something?
No, I was saying, should I continue or?
No. Let's discuss this paragraph.
Okay.
These are long paragraphs, so I thought it'd be easier to discuss one at a time. Otherwise, it's all mixed up. So, there's a verse here being mentioned from Brahma Samhita. Anybody recognizes the verse? Hint, it's number 54. Just to Indra Gopama Athva Indra Maho Sukar Bandhan Rupal Bhajana Matanoti Karmani Nidhatkincha Bhakti Bhajam Govindamadi Purusham. Okay, by the way, every one of us should memorize these verses from Brahma Samhita and chant every day. There's about 30 of them, 29 through 56. So not quite 30, 28. So we should all memorize this verse and chant them every day. You can chant them when you bathe your deities, or just chant them every morning or every evening, whatever. It takes about 5 minutes to chant those 28 verses, but we should memorize them. Anyway, so that's the verse being mentioned here, which says here that beginning from the king of heaven Indra down to an ant, everyone is suffering from their karma. But Krishna can relieve a devotee from the reaction of those karmas. The same thing, 1866 all over again. Okay, and then the example is being given that Sandipan Muni's son had been taken by Yamraj, and anybody who's under control of Yamraj is suffering, and Krishna goes and brings him back. But I love this line here. It says Krishna immediately ordered Yamraj. Do you see that line?
Yes, Prabhu.
Krishna immediately ordered Yamraj, be benefited by my order. Like how wonderful is that? Like, you obey me, and it's to your benefit. It's like when we serve Krishna, we offer him bhoga, we do arti. It's for our benefit, not Krishna's benefit. He's not sitting there hungry. It's our benefit. We clean the temple, it's for our benefit. We chant his glories, it's for our benefit. We discuss his pastimes, that's for our benefit. So Krishna is saying, yeah, obey my order and be benefited. And we should always remember that. Whatever we do for Krishna is ultimately for our benefit. That's Krishna's nature. Okay?
Hare Krishna, Baba.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, sometimes I feel that when we offer the bhoga to Krishna, I feel like Krishna is not going to eat. We are so mean that for our own protection, we are just offering him so that we don't eat sins.
Yeah, I mean, it's all about bhav, right? So whatever consciousness, whatever mood, whatever feeling we are doing it with, it has a corresponding reaction. But we know the ideal situation is that we should have the feeling that, no, actually Krishna is hungry. No, I actually want to cook what Krishna would like. With that feeling. And then it's my pleasure to, and my privilege to be given the remnants of his, what he's taken, and I will honor that because it's not different from Krishna. So it all depends upon, how much we can elevate our consciousness. But you're right, most of us are in that category. My wife will ask me, so what do you want to eat today? Okay, we'll cook that. But that's not the right approach, but that's the practical approach, right? Sometimes for whatever reason, if I cannot eat something, well, you can't eat that, so we'll cook something different. So there's no Krishna in the discussion, but we offer Krishna anyway, right? So yeah, we're not pure. There's no question about it. Our consciousness is not pure, but we're trying.
But this is not Karam Kand then?
No, it's not Karam Kand. It's still, whenever Krishna is involved, it's not Karam Kand. Okay, Karam Kand is you do something for your own benefit. So here, the purpose still is to serve Krishna. It's just that you're not going all the way. You're cooking what you want to eat, but still offering to Krishna. That's not okay.
So Prabhu, when we are thinking that way, that okay, I want to eat this, so let me prepare this, or I can't eat this, so I'll not prepare that. Is that giving us any karmas?
No, because you're offering it. You're offering to Krishna. It's just not pure. So don't forget, even impure bhakti is not karma. Okay.
How would you define impure bhakti?
Remember the verse in Nectar of Devotion we did many months ago, which said Anna abhlashta shunyam gyan karmadi anavratam. Right? So once gyan, karma, abhlasha is all included, it's impure. But still bhakti.
Prabhuji, that whatever we are talking, it's yat karosi, yat asnasi, yat dadasi, right? That is the way you are talking.
Sure, absolutely right.
Yeah, it's a nishkam karma, right? Is it a nishkam karma?
It's not karma. It's bhakti. It's just not pure bhakti.
Not pure bhakti. Okay.
That's what I'm saying. Impure bhakti. Okay. Anybody else? All right. Let's go to the next paragraph.
Krishna's inconceivable potencies have been described by Shukdev Goswami as follows. Krishna is bewildering my intelligence because although he is unborn, he has appeared as the son of Nanda Maharaj. He is all-pervading, but still he is held on the lap of Yashoda. In spite of his being all-pervasive, he has become limited to the love of Yashoda. Although he has innumerable forms, still he is moving as one Krishna before his father and mother, Nanda and Yashoda. In the Brahma Samhita, also it is said that although Krishna is eternally living in Golok Vrindavan, his transcendental abode, he is still present everywhere, even within the atoms.
Yep. So, again, continuation of the description of his inconceivable potencies. And here Shukdev Goswami is saying, by my intelligence, I cannot understand this. I just cannot. You know, Krishna is unborn, but he's born. Right? He's all pervading, but Mother Yashoda is holding him in her lap. Right? Ishopanisha says he's very far, but he's still very close. He doesn't have legs, but he can run faster than mine. So, like, Krishna is full of contradictions. Very hard to understand. You know, he hardly ever says anything directly. He's known as parokshvadi, which means his speech is usually indirect. You know, you have to understand between the lines what he means. You know, he'll give difficulties. He'll put his pure devotees in difficulties. That's contradiction too. Like, he's there to protect them, but he's putting them in difficulties. And then he protects them. So he is full of contradictions and it's very bewildering. And even Shukdev Goswami, such an elevated personality, saying, all that is totally bewildering to my intelligence. I cannot understand by my intelligence. And that's why Krishna says, no, you will never understand me by any mechanical means. Whether it's pranayama or some kind of a yoga, you cannot understand by scholastic efforts. You cannot read all the Vedas and understand me. You cannot get a million degrees and understand me. You can work very hard, cannot understand me. There's no process other than devotional service. So what does Krishna say in Bhagavad Gita? The only through devotional service you can understand me. What's that verse?
Bhaktya mam abhijanati.
Yes, yes. Yavanyaschasmi tattvata. Tato mata tato gyata vishdamam anantaram. Right? So that's the only way. But why is that? What happens to you do bhakti? Do you get enlightenment yourself? Or does Krishna have something to do?
We get pleasure.
Huh? Sorry?
We get pleasure.
No, we're talking about understanding Krishna.
Krishna's mercy and devotees association.
No, but there's a specific word I'm looking for. Krishna reveals himself.
Right.
The only way we will know Krishna is when he reveals himself. And therefore, we know Krishna only to the extent he reveals himself. He never fully reveals himself. And that's why Shukdev Goswami is a pure devotee. He's saying, even I don't understand fully. My mind is totally bewildered. How is that possible?
So what is that verse, Prabhu? Am I saying it wrong?
Which one?
That Atah Shri Krishna Namadi.
Oh, Atah Shri Krishna Namadi na bhavet grahayam indriya. Sevon mukho jivado.
Yes, yeah, we cannot. Yeah, exactly.
Same thing. Swayame vispuritada.
Yeah.
He himself reveals himself. Otherwise, you cannot understand. But the process is bhakti. Okay, everybody with me?
Yes, Prabhu.
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji, sorry. Go for it, Prabhuji.
I think they're waiting for you.
I'll go for it. Prabhuji, are we talking about the Achitya Bhed thing right now?
No, that's totally different concept.
It feels like I'm reading a whole new book today. I don't know why.
So we can spend a few minutes on what is Achintya Bheda Bhed. Inconceivable, simultaneous difference and non-difference. Right? So, for example, the soul and Krishna, between them you have Achintya Bheda Bhed. The soul and Krishna are different in what way? In what way are they different?
He is Paramatma.
No, qualities and quantity we talk about there.
Yeah, exactly. So quality-wise, we are the same. All his qualities are in us, but the quantity is different. So same in quality, different in quantity. तो भेद अभेद हो गया. But still, I mean, we can say that, but what the hell does that mean? Very difficult to understand. So achint, inconceivable. The example sometimes is given. You take a spoonful of ocean water. The water in the spoon has exactly the same qualities as the water in the ocean. But size, there's tremendous difference. The same way with Krishna. We have all his qualities. Remember, nothing in the world, including any kind of qualities, can exist if it is not in Krishna. Not possible. So therefore, everything is coming from Krishna. Even cheating, stealing, it's all coming from Krishna. What does Krishna say about cheating in Bhagavad Gita? Among the cheaters, I'm the biggest cheat. Right? Krishna says that. Right? And we all know he's a thief. What does he steal?
Butter.
Oh, no,
Our
that's
hearts.
nothing. Heart.
Our hearts.
Our heart. Yes. He steals our heart.
Hearts.
Right? So he's a thief. But his thievery is wonderful. Our thievery is criminal. Right? Madhumata, you're looking like, wow, what do you mean? If I go and steal something from your house, that's criminal. But if Krishna steals something. Sakhi Swarupa, Hare Bol.
Sorry, Hare Krishna Prabhuji. I was saying in Chaurashtakam it also says
Yeah.
Anek Janmarjita Papacharam.
Correct.
We also steal our sins.
That's right. As he was saying, I will relieve you of all your sins. So he steals that. That's another beautiful bhajan, Chaurashtakam. Very, very nice. Talks about all the things Krishna steals. He's the king of the thieves. I think it's by Vallabhacharya, right? Or
I think so, Prabhuji.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Anyway, so amazing, beautiful. Okay. Any other questions before we move to the point number 57?
Prabhuji?
Yeah, Prabhuji.
Please
Go
go
ahead.
ahead. Okay. So, Prabhuji, the question is, so you said everything comes from Krishna, everything good or bad, all the good, bad quality. So let's say, somebody is breaking one of the four regulative principles. So is that also coming from Krishna, those, qualities, bad qualities? Is that also Krishna or is it your own personal?
No. So everything, every quality is in Krishna. So Krishna is breaking those regulative principles. Come on. Day and night.
He is.
Right? But his breaking is different.
His breaking is different.
It's at not a lust level, it's a love level. It's not a material level, it's transcendental level. And
So
that's what makes it different. Because he's doing it for you, we're doing it for us. Like even if you just take any of the four regulative principles that if we violate, we're doing it for our pleasure.
True.
Like it's not even for the partner's pleasure or somebody else's pleasure. It's our pleasure.
Okay.
Right? Krishna so that's the difference between transcendental and material.
So let's say, sorry,
I was just saying, when he steals, it's not because he wants to steal the butter, but it's because it gives pleasure to the gopis. They cry when he doesn't come to their house.
True.
So he's doing it for that.
True. Makes sense.
So steals Kirthor Gopinath, right? It's not
Future
only
of open.
butter, not
Exactly.
hard, but it's also skill.
That's right.
So it does
For
so
the
many.
devotees.
Yeah, for devotees.
Yes. Okay. Thank you, Prabhuji.
You're welcome. Radha Vinod
Prabhuji,
Prabhuji.
my question is again going back to that. We were talking about localized Paramatma is, as you showed, 8 inches, fitting into that is inconceivable. But all pervading is also Paramatma.
But that's an impersonal feature. That's what I'm saying. That's the difference. There's no
Okay.
feature there. That's impersonal. It's like time. It's the impersonal feature of Krishna.
Okay.
Effulgence, impersonal feature of Krishna. And that's why I was saying that
Okay.
that's the difference.
That is difference. Okay, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Sure.
Prabhuji, one more question. आपने बोला that Krishna reveals himself and that's how we learn about him or know about him. So does he, I mean, like those people who are not into Krishna consciousness, does he the one who stops them from being there? No, it's like I have
Remember
learned that bhakti is a different platform.
Remember the free will. Free will, right? The people say, no, I don't want to serve him. Why should I? That's how we ended up here. I don't want to serve him. I want to be the Lord. Right? And some of us still continue to refuse to serve him. Some of us continue to even acknowledge his existence. God does not exist. And some do acknowledge his existence, but they say, but he has no form. Some you go beyond that, they say, no, he has a form. It's a Paramatma form. So that's what we've been talking about, right? Different people with different understanding.
So Prabhuji, whatever everyone is perceiving, did that perceivement comes from Krishna?
Everything is coming from Krishna.
Then, like, how come? Okay, I think I'm not able to say it right. I mean,
I
like,
understand.
how?
I understand.
Okay.
Let's say it's raining. And you go there and run into your house, big roof. You'll get not a drop of water, but still raining. Right? Oh, your video just went off. Yeah, I like to see the person I'm talking to. Okay. So
Sorry, Prabhuji, I'm just in the middle of doing things, so I don't want to disturb the class, so I'm turning it off and on. Yeah.
okay. So let me answer the question and then you can turn it off. Okay. So you run into your house. Now there's not a drop of water on your body. I say, hey, there's no rain. What are you talking about? Or you're outside, but you have a huge umbrella. So there's water coming all around you, maybe some few drops coming on your body also, but you're not getting all that wet. And you throw away the umbrella. Now you're drenching wet. In all those three cases, it's raining. So similarly, Krishna's mercy is pouring. Some of us refuse to take it. Some of us take it. Some of us take it different extents. Small umbrella, large umbrella, porous umbrella, not porous umbrella, all those kind of things, right? So that's the difference. We have to receive it. So for example, we say, oh my God, if you take Krishna's darshan, you're finished, done. But so many people, including Duryodhan, Shishupal, Kansa, they all saw Krishna, but they didn't have the same benefit because they didn't want to take it. So to receive it. It's how you receive it determines the end result. So throw your umbrella and you'll be drenched. Okay? Does that make sense? Haribol. Okay, you can turn your video off now. Okay. Any other questions?
Prabhuji.
Aji.
So coming back to the bad qualities, all coming from Krishna.
Okay.
How about we selfish quality? Like we are selfish, as you said, we do everything for our pleasure. Even breaking the regulative principles is for our own pleasure. Where is this quality selfish? Krishna is not selfish because he is doing everything for his devotees. So why are we getting this quality?
So once again, we have taken Krishna does everything for other people, right? But he also does for himself. He's known as a Rasik Shekhar. What does that mean?
Sorry, can you repeat the word?
The word Rasik Shekhar. What does
So
it mean?
he wants to enjoy all the rasas. He is the
Right.
king of all
He
the rasas.
enjoys that. Is that selfish? Well, in a way it is. Not quite, because he's doing it for our benefit. But when we do it, it's only for our benefit, it's still selfish. So that makes it worse.
So he has some of the selfish quality, but
Of course
still
he does.
more for our
But
benefit.
he's doing it for somebody else.
Okay. So at least it's coming. I'm like, that doesn't.
Yeah, it
Okay.
can't exist. Otherwise, it cannot exist.
Yes. Okay. Makes sense. Yes. You're right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Anyone else? Okay, then let's move on. Who would like to do number 57?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, I can read.
Please go ahead. Yeah, Shalini Mataji, go ahead.
57. Krishna's body generates innumerable universes. In the 10th canto, 14th chapter, verse 11 of Srimad Bhagavatam, Lord Brahma says, "My dear Lord, false ego, intelligence, mind, sky, air, fire, water, and earth are the material ingredients of this universe, which can be compared to a gigantic pot. In that gigantic pot, my body is of insignificant measurement, and even though one of the many universes is created by me, innumerable universes are coming and going from the pores of your body, just as atomic particles are seen flickering in the sunlight. I think I'm very, very insignificant before you, and I am therefore begging your pardon. Please be merciful towards me." Do I continue, Prabhu?
No, let's talk about this paragraph first. Then you can continue after. Just like we did the last point, okay? So this Brahma now talking, and he's saying, just understand the size of one universe, right? And then he talks about these 8 layers. In the previous point also, we talked about how each layer is 10 times longer or larger than the previous one. So just imagine one layer is X size, one up before there's 10X, before there's 100X, before there's 1000X. And imagine how big one universe is. And our universe is the smallest universe. How do we know that? How do we know that our universe is the smallest universe?
Brahma is four-headed.
Sorry?
Brahma is a four-headed. It's the
Yeah,
small.
Brahma has only 4 heads. Other
Yeah,
Brahmas have
it's
millions of heads.
millions.
Okay, anyway, so my point is the smallest is so big. And then all these universes are pouring out of the pores. Now, how large is a pore in our body? The width of a hair. That's how large a pore is, right? Well, some Matajis don't have any hair on their body, but men have a lot of hair on their body. I certainly do. And you can see the size of every pore on your hand or on your body, right? Very small. But a whole universe is coming out. And trillions of universes are coming out of the body of the Lord. How inconceivable is that? So Brahma is saying that you're so great, you're able to generate innumerable universes from the pores of your body. Whereas I myself, I'm insignificant in one universe. And you're generating billions and billions of universes. And then it gives a very nice example. Just as atomic particles are seen flickering in the sunlight. Have you ever seen sunlight coming through a window? What do you see?
Very, very tiny particles, like very, very tiny.
Yeah, right. And that's the size of the universe.
Yep.
So, I mean, so you can imagine. So, like, what size of the body Mahavishnu must have? That all these are coming out of every pore of his body. And I can't get over the fact that he's half asleep. He's doing all this, he's half asleep. And in terms of breath, what did he do when the universes came out? What did he do in terms of his breath?
Inhale, all the universes going back in, and when he exhale.
Yeah. All he did was,
Inhale, exhale.
all he did was, that's
Blow,
it.
blow.
That's it. and billions
He's
and
just
trillions of
breathing.
universes
He's
coming out.
breathing actually.
He's breathing
In
out.
and out.
Yeah.
He's breathing
Breathing
in
out.
and out. Yes.
And Lord help us when he breathes in. Finished. Finished. Until he decides to exhale again. So you can imagine. So inconceivable. Like, how does that work? Totally inconceivable. Okay, anyway. So Brahma is basically saying, forgive me for all my stupidity. I should understand how insignificant I am compared to you. Okay. Any questions on that? Okay. Mataji, go ahead. Next paragraph.
If one takes account of only one universe, he will find so many combinations of wonderful things within, because there are innumerable planets, innumerable residences and places of demigods. The diameter of the universe is 4 billion miles, and it is infested with many unfathomable regions known as patalas, or lower planetary systems. Although Krishna is the origin of all this, he can always be seen in Vrindavan, exhibiting his inconceivable potencies. So who can adequately worship such an all-powerful Lord, possessed of such inconceivable energy? Hare Krishna.
Right. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So let's talk about two things. We have only 14 minutes left, so let's talk about two things. One is the structure of the universe. How many planetary systems are there?
14, Prabhu?
14.
14, correct. So 7 above, 7 below.
7.
Anybody knows the names by any chance?
Bhur, Bhuvar, Suvar, Mahar, Jana, Tapa, Satyaloka. Up above.
Right.
Atala, Sutala, Vitala, Talatala, Rasatala, Mahatala, Patal.
Haribol!
That's where I belong. So I know that.
Haribol! Yeah, so that's the 14 planetary systems that make one universe. And all created by the Lord trillions of times. So that's one point. The second point is that if you look at what's happening, Lord Krishna expands to whom? Immediate expansion is? Balaram. Balaram's immediate expansion is? Narayan. Narayan's immediate expansion is?
Quadruple.
Quadruple expansions, yes.
Oh.
Vasudev, Sankarshan, Pradyumna, Anirudh. Sankarshan expands again to second Narayan, who expands to second quadruple. The second Sankarshan is known as Mool Sankarshan. He expands into Mahavishnu. Mahavishnu creates all these universes and expands as Garbhodaksha Vishnu in each of these universes. Trillions and then Garbhodaksha Vishnu expands into which Vishnu? Huh? Kshirodaksha Vishnu. So just imagine. And that Vishnu then expands to Paramatma. All pervading. And that Vishnu also expands all the incarnations. Try and understand that. Yes, Aditi?
Why all Vishnus are sleeping? Dakshai.
No, not all. Not all. They're resting. Only Mahavishnu is sleeping.
Yep.
And even that is half asleep. Yoga Nidra. Rest of them are resting. Being served by their wife rather. Mother Lakshmi. Okay, so but the point is so inconceivable that it's creating all this. And then another funny thing is, or inconceivable things, he expands, Lord Balaram expands as Sheshnag, Ananta Shesh. And what is he holding on his hoods?
Krishna.
Huh?
The universe.
The universes.
Oh,
All the
okay.
universes. Billions and trillions on his hoods, and they look like the size of a mustard seed on his hoods. So how big must he be? And that's an expansion of Krishna. That shows the inconceivable potencies, that all these billions and trillions of universes come from his body, and all these expansions happen, and effortlessly. There is no effort. It's, like I said, Mahavishnu is doing it in sleep. It couldn't be that difficult. Any questions or comments on that? Okay, then let's do the last one, 58.
Can I read, Prabhu?
Please, of course.
58. The original source of all incarnations. Jayadeva Goswami, in his Gita Govinda, has sung as follows. The Lord has saved the Vedas in his form as a fish, and he has borne the whole universe on his back in the form of a tortoise. He has picked up this earthly planet from the water in the form of a boar. He has killed Hiranyakashipu in the form of Nrsimha. He has cheated Maharaja Bali in the form of Vamana. He has annihilated all the dynasties of the Kshatriyas in the form of Parashurama. He has killed all the demons in the form of Lord Rama. He has accepted the great plough in the form of Balarama. He has annihilated all the atheistic persons in the form of Kalki. And he has saved all the poor animals in the form of Lord Buddha. These are some of the descriptions of the incarnations emanating from Krishna and from Srimad Bhagavatam. It is understood that innumerable incarnations are always coming out from the body of Krishna, just like waves in the ocean. No one can even count how many waves there are, and similarly, no one can count how many incarnations are coming from the Lord's body. Jai.
Jai. So how do we know from Gita Govinda that these are all incarnations of Krishna? What does it say in Gita Govinda?
Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare. That one too.
Yeah. So Keshavadrita means Sharira. Keshavadrita Kurma Sharira, right? Keshavadrita Sukar Rupa. Keshavadrita Narhari Rupa. Keshavadrita Vaman Rupa. Keshavadrita Bhagavati Rupa, right? Keshavadrita Ram Sharira. Keshavadrita Haldhar Rupa. Keshavadrita Buddha Sharira. Keshavadrita Kalki Sharira. So Keshavadrita, Lord Krishna is taking that form.
Prabhuji, one Haribol to you. Oh my goodness.
Why?
How nicely you said everything in a row like that, Prabhu.
I
Wonderful.
can't sing like you did.
You just
You're
said
just
it
too
in so
amazing.
fine, it's so fluent, without any stop. So
Yeah,
Prabhu,
that's what I'm
what was this
saying.
in Gita song? These are all description is available.
This is actually is called Gita Govind.
Gita Govind. Okay.
Yeah, Gita Govind is a book. But you just Google Gita Govind and you get these 10 verses.
Prabhuji, isn't the song there in our Vaishnava songbook too, Prabhu?
Yeah, probably is. Yeah.
Yeah, it is there, mother, in our Vaishnava songbook. You can see the song.
Yeah.
It's called Dashavatar Stotra, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. So yeah, it's very easily available, and we sing one of them. Oh, by the way, talking about just totally out of context. Who wrote the necessary prayers that we sing every day in the temple? Hmm? Well, that's half correct.
But yesterday.
No.
No?
Yo, what a shame.
Huh?
Oh, shameless Prabhu I am.
How does it go? What we chant in the temple, how does it start?
No.
Yeah, go ahead, Nana, go ahead.
मैं क्या तुलसी prayers गाने लगी हूँ. Sorry, Prabhuji.
Okay.
We're talking about
Namaste. Namaste,
Namaste,
Narsimha.
Narsimha.
I can. Namaste, Narasimhaya.
Pela
Gahire Hiranyakashipu Vakshaha Shilatanka हराए ये तो नरसिंहा पर तो नरसिम्हा यतो यामित तो नरसिम्हा वही नरसिम्हाय हृदय नरसिम्हाय नरसिंहम् आदिम शरणं प्रपदे तब कर कमल वरे नाखा अद्भुत श्रृंगार दलिता हिरण्यकशिपु तन भृंगा केशव दूता नर हरि दूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय नरसिंह देव जय नरसिंह देव नरसिंह देव जय नरसिंह देव जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज बोलो नरसिंह भगवान की जय.
So, which part of that is in Gita Govinda? Where does it start?
Keshavadrita Narhari.
No. Before that. Tavakara Kamala.
Tavakara Kamalavare. Yeah.
That's part of Gita Govinda. But that's not how we start the temple. Did anybody ever think about that? That's why I had Mataji sing it.
Prabhuji, can I just, this is out of context, Prabhu. Mataji, that it is not Keshava Duta, it is
No, it's
Drita.
Three.
Drita. Keshava Drita.
नर हरि रूपा जय जगदीश
Keshava Drita.
Okay,
Is it
so
Keshav
point is,
Duta?
it's one word.
Drita. Keshav Drita.
Dhrita.
Yeah.
Okay. So anyways, let's go back to the original point. So the first half is not part of Gita Govind. Gita Govind starts from Tavakar Kamala Vare. Right? So before that, where did that come from?
Is it Narsimha Puran?
No. Actually, it's written by
Prabhuji, I went on Google.
Huh?
Google? It says
Where Google?
Vyasadeva.
Huh?
No. I went on Google, it says Vyasadeva.
Yeah, that's what I know too.
No. Actually,
No?
that's written by, that part is written by Bhaktivinoda Thakur, and Srila Prabhupada combined the two. So out of ISKCON, you won't find that. It's only in ISKCON.
Oh my God.
Srila Prabhupada combined those two to kind of put it all together, and that's what we chant.
So, Prabhu, what's the writer's name?
I'm sorry?
What's the writer's name?
What's the what?
Writers. Who has written it?
I just told you. Bhaktivinoda Thakur wrote the first half. Second half is Jayadev Goswami from Gita Govind. So when it starts Tavakar Kamala Vare, that's Gita Govind, Jayadev Goswami. The first half that we sing.
Two writers.
Ito
This is in Krishna
etc.
book. हमारे ISKCON की भजन book में.
Of course. But Srila Prabhupada combined the two to make it one, but most of us don't even realize. Hey, Shivansh.
Part is written by Jayadev Goswami.
Hare
Second half.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna, how are you?
I'm good.
That's good.
Okay.
That's Shivansh, everyone.
Master is busy doing his Mridanga practices to prove something tomorrow to his teacher.
That's great. That's great. Okay, so I think that's a kind of side that I'll mention that. Any other questions or comments? There's time now to end.
Okay.
Hare Krishna, Pitaji.
Nandimukhi, go ahead.
Okay, Pitaji, I have one question because so many devotees, speak in Ito Narsimha Parto Narsimho. Yato Yami Tato Narsimho. Lots of is calling Narsimho or some is calling Narsimha. I don't know.
Well, so what happens is people take liberty to make it a particular tune. The real word is nursing, Nrsimha. nursing.
Mm.
Now you can make it nursing or whatever. That's just part of singing. But the real word is nursing. NRSIMHA. So now जो रुक मात्रा होती है ना वो वाली.
Mhm. Okay, but I don't know. I heard so many things. Maybe in so small. This is I call mistake, and this is not mistake.
Don't worry about it. With the name of the Lord, don't worry about it. He's so flexible.
Okay.
You know, it's so flexible that you say kamra, which means a room. A lot of times says, he's taking my name. Because backwards Ram.
Okay.
That's how powerful the name of the Lord is.
Mara, Ram,
Yeah,
Ram.
Valmiki, yeah. When Mara, and he became so powerful.
Okay, and Pidaji, the second thing is Prabhupada ya Prabhupada.
No, again, Sanskrit is Prabhupada, Angrez is Prabhupada.
Okay. Okay. Thank you,
It's
Pidaji.
like real is Krishna, Angrez is Krishna.
Okay.
Ram. And you know, especially when people that's going Gadadhara, and that's just Angrez.
Yes. Okay.
And then some Hindustani try to become Angrez and they start doing all that.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much for
Sure.
clarification, Ashri.
You're welcome, no problem. Nana, you were asking.
Thank you.
So I'm saying today's class felt like, you know, that Charlie Brown and the Chocolate Factory. Everything is mystical today.
I never liked that movie.
Well, but I'm not saying like it's like wow, ye bhi hai. Okay, this is something new. It does not feel like I was reading Nectar or Devotion. It feels like I'm in some Krishna land learning about he can do this, he's so big, he's so magical, so beautifully explained. Thank you, Prabhuji.
That's great.
You are elevated now, Nina. I was looking for her when the class started. She came late, but I was looking for her.
We are sorry, Hare Krishna. Sorry, Nuga Prabhu, I'm already inviting everybody. I think we are the one who are doing our first Rath Yatra in Ontario, 25th June. So I came late because I was overlapped because we were doing a planning meeting every Thursday from 7 to 8. So I'm like at 8, I'm like rush. And then I come here. So that's why I was
So
late.
everybody
is invited.
Everybody should also know she single-handedly runs the whole Rath Yatra.
Hari bol, Hari
Unbelievable.
bol.
Unbelievable.
Everybody's supporting. I'm just trying to tie the ends together. Yeah.
Nice.
No, unbelievable what you do. Inconceivable for us.
Inconceivable potency of Naina Sharma.
Krishna's some part which I get a little bit of his. Yeah. Thank you so much, but I'm not capable any. Is just getting out of whatever I'm learning. So
now the required humility comes out.
Krishna's mercy, you are getting all that.
Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you. Anybody else? Any questions, comments before we stop?
Thank you, Prabhuji, for an amazing class as
So, you're
always.
welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripasindhibhyo eva cha. Tanam pavanebhyo vaishnavyo namaha.
Pitashri, Jai
Thank you,
Prabhupada.
Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Good night.
Thank you.
Prabhuji.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you.
And Usha, happy birthday.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
Thank you
Usha
so much.
birthday.
One day later.
Thank you, Mataji.
Pitashri, can
Thank
you
you,
sing
Mataji.
for her, please?
I called her already on her birthday, not late.
Behalf of everybody.
Yeah, let's sing.
Okay, yeah. Happy birthday to you on behalf of everyone. I can chant
Thank you,
Hare
Prabhu.
Krishna to you.
Happy
Hare
birthday
Krishna
Birthday
to
to
you.
you.
Happy birthday.
no happy birthday, Mataji. Only Hare Krishna to you.
Hare Krishna to
To
you.
you.
Hare
May you,
Krishna
Krishna
to
to
you.
may
Hare
you
Krishna,
always
dear
serve
Usha.
Krishna. May
Hare
you always
Krishna
serve
to you.
Krishna.
Haribol.
Hare Krishna. Thank you,
Thank you,
everybody.
Pitashri.
Thank you so much.
Haribol.
Hare Krishna.
Take care.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hari bol. Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you, Prabhuji.
Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.